Hey guys, here's a quick overview of the sounds I used in my rescore of the U scene. And just a fair warning, I'm going to be talking really fast because I don't want to go over my 7 minutes. The first three sounds are really simple. I have amped ambient light, which I pitch modulated, took out some high end and put it through an amplifier. Then there's celestial organ, which I just added tremolo to make it kind of ethereal. Then I used reverb piano, which is just a 100% wet version of Flying Circus piano. Next, I used what I call breathing synth, synth being in quotation marks just because it's not really a synth. I just used my raw breathing sound, which I made kind of an S-ing sound and crescendoed and decrescendoed it. But I had to compress it to kind of squash the dynamic range, as well as because I used an S-ing sound, it was mainly high-end, so I added pitch shift to add a lower octave reinforcement. Made it 100% wet with a long reverb time to give it a cave effect, and I used driver to distort it to give it kind of this screaming quality that you'll hear throughout the rescore. Next is what I call choir synth, which is based off Spitfire Labs' Eric Whitaker choir sound. I added 4 instances of pitch shift, each with varying percentages. So I added the 5th, then an octave above that, then the 5th above that, then the octave above that. And then I also made it 100% wet with chroma reverb, and that was the sound at first, but it felt boring to me. So I added automated tremolo, automating the rate of the tremolo, and I added Valhalla Supermassive to add delays on top of that. And then it kind of felt kind of rough, so I added 63% wet chroma reverb to smoothen out the sound. Next is what I call flute synth, which I just took the stock Logic flute sound, and you're able to play lower than the flute would actually go. So I played the lowest note on the piano, made it 100% wet, put it through an amplifier. Then I used 2 instances of rotor cabinet to give it kind of a circular effect, but I didn't want it to be predictable, which is why I used 2 instances at different rates. Then I used pitch shift to add a lower octave. Next I have brassy bass with delay, which is it's really simple. It's just Alchemy's brassy and funky with a taped delay. Next is arpeggiated metallic percussion. I actually took this arpeggiated pattern from one of the Logic instruments, but I didn't like the sound, so I just replaced it with something in Sculpture, and I added stereo delay to it, so nothing too complicated here. Next is the heartbeat sound, which is just a basic 808 kick, cut out the highs, starts with 1.1 seconds of decay and chroma reverb, ends with 9.6 because I wanted it wetter as it went on, and I cut below 71.5 hertz. Next is vibrating low synth, which is built in retro synth, and you can see the instance of that to the right. 100% dry, 86% wet with scanner vibrato to add the vibrating quality. Next is bassoon synth, which is the same as flute synth except a super high version of bassoon. I pitch modulated it so it's increasing in pitch as it goes on. Added scanner vibrato and coursing to give it a wide effect, and I coupled it with a reverse snare to give it kind of a sucking effect. And the only other thing I wanted to note is I actually removed the original music to the scene by myself using Isotope RX. I went and surgically removed second by second. I saw where the music was lying, and I kind of surgically removed it all by myself. So that's something cool I kind of wanted to mention. And without further ado, here's the U scene.
Maybe I got a little obsessed. Maybe I used my parents' means to do a little digging after Candace left. They owed me that much. I devoured your dead ex's book front to back. All the articles, all the think pieces, reading between the lines. And I realized Guinevere Beck was unspecial and mediocre. She didn't deserve you. And then I found the real you, Joe. You were even smarter, more passionate, more devoted than I'd known. You're crafty and earthy. And it must be said you bring out genius. Don't think Beck could have written that in a million years without your push. Yeah, you did some terrible things. But that's what sensitive people do when they're trapped in a bad relationship. I tried to coax the real you out. If you could trust me, show me your heart, even the darkest parts, then we'd be starting our future together on the right foot. But then, Delilah, she found out who you were and recoiled. You lost faith. You were gonna give up on us, our little family in the making. So I followed you.
Take this. Give it to Delilah. And when you fuck her, you think of me. Okay?
to help me. Listen, Will is insane.
Oh my god.
These handcuffs, I think there's a key. I don't know, Will has it or if there's a spare. I really don't know. I promised him that I wouldn't say anything about what he did. But I really don't think he believes me, and so I really need your help. I need to get out of here, please.
He said he'd be back later. He's high on something. Please just hurry. You'll hurt me. You'll hurt both of us. Just hurry. Please just help me before he gets back.
I dealt with Delilah the same way I dealt with the au pair. I'm protecting you because I want to, Joe. You didn't break me. You opened your heart to me. We're soulmates, Joe.
What the fuck?